This project has one of the best risk to reward ratios I've ever seen in my life, but it's also full of risks. So let's look into RDNT Capital, what's my investment thesis, and also what I expect as price potential for this token. What is RDNT Capital? It's pretty much a lending platform similar to Aave, and remember this because it's going to be very important when we evaluate the price potential for this token. And as you can see here, you can borrow USDC, DAI, and all other cryptos. It's currently on Arbitrum and also on BNB chain, and they're planning to expand onto mainnet Ethereum. However, something very important also about this project is that it's a layer 0 protocol. And if you believe, like me, that the future of crypto is cross-chain and that this narrative has a lot of potential, you know how important RDNT Capital could be in the future. And that's actually one of the first things I wanted to show you here, and I wanted to share as the things that I really like about this project. I want to show you here my entries from March 23, 2023. This was the beginning of this year when RDNT Capital started showing on my radar, and I just did a write-up. You know, I usually do this and later I do a video about it. And I wrote everything, like what I like, what I don't like. And one of my main concerns was that this was back then only on Arbitrum and that they're currently implementing BNB chain, and they made it smoothly. Like, I mean, there were no issues with the BNB implementation, and currently in a few days or so, they're also going to be implementing Ethereum mainnet. Of course, this could go wrong. They have already announced that there's going to be a delay here. It was planned for October 3rd, now it's moved to October 15th. However, I don't have doubts that they're going to deliver. And Ethereum is obviously the biggest place for liquidity and for borrowing and for all of this. And I believe it's going to be a game changer for RDNT, even if it's just sell the news on the actual date when it launches. With time, I believe that the total value locked will start increasing dramatically. That's of course if we have another crypto bull run, and this will drive the value of the token of RDNT, which we also going to look into. And full disclosure, I do have a little bit of RDNT locked on their website, but it's just like $500. Here you can see on the dashboard, I'm currently locking $430, which when I initially did it was around 500, and that's to provide liquidity and to earn the APR here on the people that are borrowing and also on deposits. I've also deposited like 500 USDC in order to provide lending, and you can see here on the dashboard what is my projected annual rewards on this amount that I have deposited, and also my pending rewards and so on. So you might ask yourself, this is a very insignificant amount. Yes, you have, but why we're even talking about this? It's because, first of all, the small amount that I'm investing here is mainly for the potential of a layer 0 airdrop. This is one of the main protocols on layer 0, and there's a huge chance that people that interact with this specific project and provide liquidity and, you know, interact with all the contracts will have slightly higher chance to earn a layer 0 airdrop. And for me, $500 is the amount that I'm willing to risk 100% if something goes wrong. You know, anything can happen in crypto. Obviously, there are a lot of hacks and stuff. So this is the amount I'm willing to lose. So I do have $500 into the lending platform, and I also have around $500 in RDNT, which is currently down. And a couple of other major reasons why I like this and why I'm doing this is, first of all, you can see it here that the ARP airdrop is live. This means that of all of the tokens that this project received from the Arbitrum airdrop, they decided that they're going to redistribute them, or at least most of them, to the lockers and stakers of their RDNT token, which is amazing. You know, I just received a few tokens. Obviously with this amount it was like 12 ARP or something, but still it's money that I earned already from doing pretty much nothing. And I like overall that they're going to do this and continue this with Arbitrum, because I think Arbitrum currently has also a program that is launching, and for their key projects they're gonna redistribute even more ARP tokens, and RDNT Capital will be obviously affected by this, and probably me as a staker here, I would receive some tokens in addition to that. And the second reason is that I'm also getting real yield from the platform. You can see pretty much all the stats right here, and you can see that I have earned around 25 bucks in all of the currencies here. So this is real yield. You know, I would be getting USDC and USDT if I decided to. However, I've clicked this button here, how to compound, which pretty much swaps all of these into their liquidity token and locks it again. And I've done this for 6 months. So this is my plan when I did it a few months ago, and I'm just planning to leave it here. But if I decide to buy more tokens, if I decide to buy more RDNT capital, probably I'm not going to be locking them because that will be major risk. And I do want to have a major position in this token, but not just yet. Here in the white paper, you can see how the revenue share works. They implemented it a few months ago and it's been running pretty smoothly. You know, I'm going to leave these links down in the description if you want to look into it, but pretty much this is not just a governance token. Obviously you have revenue share, and I think there will be a lot more to come, especially when they start implementing more chains like Ethereum. And keep in mind, this is the second largest protocol when it comes to Arbitrum, obviously excluding Uniswap, Aave, and Balancer. They're across many different chains, and it falls under a lot of narratives that I believe have strength of playing out. So this is real yield, Arbitrum ecosystem, layer 0 ecosystem. You know, these are all great narratives that I believe have the potential to play out, and honestly they don't really have that many competitors for now. However, the story is not perfect, and obviously there are a lot of things that you need to be concerned about. And one of them is that the total value locked has been pretty much stagnating. This is again RDNT capital here. And when I initially did my research, it was somewhere here around March. And you can see the spike in total value locked, which was really great to see. But after that, we haven't really moved a lot. Obviously, we're in a bear market, but again, they added, you can see here that they added Binance Smart Chain, and yet the total value locked didn't move at all. So definitely this is a concern. And another major concern that I wanted to point out, and it wasn't the case actually before that, but the user numbers are not very impressive. You can see this on this Dune dashboard, and pretty much after the spike in March, it's been going down only. And currently we don't have that many users. It's like 1,000 to 2,000 users on the platform. And if we really want this to become a leader in the lending space, we need to, you know, completely change these numbers. And even here, like even if you have like 10,000 users, I don't think that will be enough for a huge crypto bull run. So definitely I would want this to start going up slowly, and I hope that the implementation of Ethereum will definitely help them do this. Another major concern for me personally is the unlock schedule. They have quite a lot of inflation. When I started looking into this project, it had only around 100 to 150 million tokens in circulation. This is already at 320 million circulation, and as you can see here, the numbers don't really correspond because there's a max supply of around 1 billion tokens, and it says that we have 55% unlocked. And when we see the graph here, if you see today, it's around 550 million tokens that's supposed to be unlocked, but you don't see this in the circulating supply. And my main reasoning for this, the way I believe it works, is all the people that are staking like me for longer on the platform, they're not shown in the circulating supply. So you can pretty much have an estimate how much of RDNT is locked for longer for staking. So in my calculation, this is around 200 million, which is quite a good ratio compared to the fully circulating supply here, if this graph is true, obviously, because I always take this with a grain of salt. But as you can see, the coming months and years, there will be significant inflation. Yes, the platform has a lot of incentives for people to lock up their tokens, as we already looked into, but also it's been kind of a pain in the ass. Although you have all the information, it took me a while to, you know, find my way around this platform. And also, if you decide to unlock your tokens, you need to vest them, especially those that you have earned. You need to vest them for like 3 months. So again, this is discouraging people from dumping on the market. However, you know, if I'm a speculator and an investor, I'm not sure I want to be locking my tokens at all, because I want to be fluid, especially in a bull run, and I want to make sure that I can sell my tokens, especially if we get parabolic rips. With all of that said, let me tell you what is my plan and why I find this to be a very attractive investment long term. Obviously, we have to start saying that this is a shitcoin pretty much. Everything other than Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum is extremely high risk. However, if you believe that crypto is not going to zero and that we could have another bull run, this one is really a good fine balance between you can lose it all and you can make like 20 or 30x. And this starts with the valuation. Currently the market cap sits at around $77 million, and the exchange diversification is all right. You know, we don't have some major players like Binance and Kraken, but still it's on Binance, Bitget, Gate.io, you know, KuCoin. A lot of exchanges have already listed it. And if we compare this to a major player in the space, which is Aave, it currently sits at around $1 billion market valuation. And if we look at the chart of the market cap at Aave, when it launched back in 2020, it was around, what is this, $400 to $500 million market cap. So this was already like 6-7 times bigger than Radiant Capital. And still from here to here, it did pretty much a 20x. And Radiant Capital is much smaller and it's already been listed. And I think if it delivers and if it starts adding chains and, you know, all the narratives, or at least some of the narratives kick in, I do believe this has an easy 10 to 20x in the back. Why is this? Another reason for this, let me just show you the chart of its token. It's pretty much a brand new token, you know. It launched somewhere in April and it's been down only. It's been in this really nice downtrend, but it hasn't really sold off massively, so it's been holding relatively well compared to the rest of the market. And that's why I haven't been in a rush to buy it, because when I looked into it in March, it was pumping a little bit, but there was pretty much no price history. And now we're starting to see some price history and some levels that are showing up as key levels for this chart. And I'm personally watching around 25 cents, I think, is the first major level, and then the next level is somewhere around here, so somewhere around 30 cents. And even if we wait for this to start developing or we start getting into a bull market, I still think the valuation and the risk to reward, even at 30 or 40 cents, will be very good. But this chart really, in my opinion, looks very good. I've seen such charts previously. You might say, yes, it's going down, but I've seen such charts on tokens that I've been planning to accumulate in previous cycles. And I can tell you this really looks good, because we can compare it to something like CRV, which in the previous cycle, it really dumped, which pretty much created a lot of backholders. You can see here, it had a quick pump and then a massive dump and then accumulation, and then it started popping back up. And with Radiant, we are seeing a slow bleed, which in my opinion is the preferred case. And definitely when this changes and we start seeing a shift in the market structure, I think with the fundamentals that it has a potential to go a lot higher. What is my personal plan? I've currently, as I mentioned, bought somewhere around this level, I think around 30 cents, and I'm just sticking with the $500 that I have for now. However, if we see this back in the range and maybe, you know, we get away with the recession and we start seeing Bitcoin pumping and showing strength, and then obviously the ETF getting approved and so on, I will start buying some Radiant on dollar cost average basis. Or obviously you can wait for a major breakout or something. There's really no rush. And if this thing capitulates and if we have a deeper correction on crypto, I would definitely be interested in buying even lower, because then the risk to reward, I believe it will be much better. If let's say we drop another 50%, this will make around a $30 to $40 million market cap valuation for a token which I believe has massive potential. If I said has massive potential way too many times, yeah, don't be surprised, because I really like this project obviously, but obviously that's not financial advice. Don't just blindly buy into this. But yeah, I do believe it has a 10 to 20x potential. That is my somewhat objective opinion of Radiant Capital. If you know about this project, or if you have any questions about the project or anything else, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.